What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about a few different coins and how I think they're going to drop and then skyrocket. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. All right, so the first coin we're going to be talking about today is Bitcoin Cash, and we're going to start off with our Elliott wave count here on Bitcoin Cash. The first thing that we see here is a massive ABC correction down to our major all-time low. Then we started to see a bullish cycle as Bitcoin started to recover from its bottom at 16,000. And you can see that Bitcoin Cash went all the way up to about $708. Well, it's worth $471 right now as we speak. So the Elliott wave count that I'm seeing here on the smaller time frame is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and our fifth wave up here. Now, what I'm expecting to have happen over the summer is an ABC correction. We've already have our A wave here, and I'm expecting our C wave to take us to about $250 per Bitcoin Cash. But then after that, I'm expecting a very, very big moon in this market. Why is that? Well, if you look at Elliott wave principle on Wikipedia and do a little bit of research here about Elliott wave principle, you guys can see that wave 3 is usually the most powerful in the trend, although some research suggests that in commodity markets, wave 5 is the largest. So what does this mean? Well, crypto trades a lot like a commodity market where it has extended fifth waves just like gold or silver or even oil. And if we go back over to Bitcoin Cash, you can see that that is the case. Wave 3 is very, very impulsive. It's much bigger than wave 1, but wave 5 is even bigger than wave 3. So this is very typical for cryptocurrency to do this, just like commodity markets like gold or silver. So because we have 5 waves up here and an ABC correction back down, that means the reason I think this coin is going to skyrocket after this is because we'll be headed into a big picture wave 3. So we'll have our major wave 1, our major wave 2, and we will be getting ready to head into a big picture wave 3, which honestly, let's fix that here real quick. There we go. Which honestly could take us to a new all-time high with Bitcoin Cash. Even in wave 3, it could take us to a new all-time high on wave 3. So I know a lot of people are getting really mad at me for being bearish on crypto over the summer, but I want to let you guys know that I'm not bearish on crypto in the big picture. I just see significant downside risk over the summer. And a 50%, 40% drawback is a big enough drop that I don't want to be 100% in the markets like most people are. Having 50% cash is really smart, so when the market pulls back, you can buy wave 2 here in the big picture and get ready for a big picture wave 3 and make a heck of a lot of money. But if you marry the idea that the markets have to rise in value, you're really going to miss out on that opportunity to buy the dip here before we get ready for a big picture wave 3. And think of how much money you can make if you buy the dip on wave C, if you're not greedy and trying to hold 100% in the markets in preparation for wave 3. So buying wave 2 here in preparation for wave 3 could really change your life if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to actually take a little profit off the table and get ready to buy the dip later. But most everybody is 100% in on the markets right now, expecting a huge climb, and everybody's in euphoria or complacency, depending on what crypto you're looking at, and they're just really ready to see a huge climb in value, and the market cycle has to rinse and repeat. It has to rinse out all the people that are buying at that point of maximum financial risk and get ready for a pullback and shake them out. A lot of people are in complacency right now. Their psychology is, we just need to cool off for the next rally. A lot of people are thinking like that. And if you look at Bitcoin Cash, and we take our chart and zoom in a little bit here, you can see that complacency point where the market drops and starts to bounce. Almost nobody's willing to sell in complacency, but it's really the best place to sell because you can see it so clearly and so easily before you get that drop down to anxiety, denial, panic, capitulation, and all that good stuff. So yeah, I think a lot of coins are in complacency, and if they're not, like some meme coins are in euphoria right now. You know, some of them are in that euphoria phase, especially smaller meme coins like on Deck Screener and other places. You can see a lot of them are in euphoria right now, getting ready to pull back for that complacency phase before we see a bigger correction. But again, I want to reiterate the point that after wave 2, we're going to see a huge climb. We're going to see a huge moon in the crypto markets and a huge moon on Bitcoin Cash here. And don't give up. You know, be willing to take profit. Don't be 100% in on the market, but be willing to take profit so that you can buy the dip later in wave 2 and prepare for a big picture wave 3 in the case of Bitcoin Cash. There's a little bit different wave count depending on what coin you're looking at, but they're all going to generally follow each other down and then back up. So you can see Bitcoin Cash also has a left shoulder, a head, and a potential right shoulder here, especially if we break support over the next week, then we're going to see a big drop in Bitcoin Cash. So let's talk a little bit about Ethereum next here today. So Ethereum is another example of complacency. And I'm not talking about big picture complacency like we saw right here on Ethereum in 2018, right? Big picture complacency was right here. We had a huge bear market. I'm not talking about that, but I am talking about short-term complacency. A bull trap in the short term that can take us lower here with Ethereum back down to major support. And yeah, a lot of people are in that complacency phase of the market cycle. We did have a bearish cross on the MACD, which is a sell signal, just like we had right here, a bearish cross, which led to a big correction on Ethereum. So don't be shocked if we pull back here on Ethereum over the summer. But you guys, I'm not a perma-bear. I think this thing is going to completely skyrocket. You know, people are going to, institutions are selling the news because all the retail thinks the markets are just going to moon because of the ETF. And yes, the markets will moon because of the ETF and other factors as well, but not until after we pull back. That's all I'm saying in these videos. And if you look here, we have an ABC correction here that we had to have along the way up, and yet people think that we're just not going to have more of those, that somehow because of the ETF or whatever factor they're trying to factor into this, that we're not going to have a pullback. And the charts are screaming that we need a healthy correction. And the psychology of people is everybody's 100% in, people are leveraged long, and I just really see a cascade of liquidations happening for people that are too long in this on these coins in this market before we can go back up higher again. But no, I'm not a perma-bear. After this, Ethereum is going to completely moon. Ethereum is going to skyrocket beyond your wildest dreams once we pull back for a healthy correction. You know, this is the way markets work. On the way down, you have to have ABC up, right? Because you're in a correction. So you get ABC up in the subwaves. On the way up, you have to have ABC down because you're in a bull market and you have to have healthy corrections in the subwaves before you push higher. But yeah, after this, I think Ethereum is going to just completely skyrocket and moon. It's going to be really fun to be bullish on Ethereum down here where everybody flips bearish because you took profit and you're willing to buy the dip. And you guys, I'm not saying to be 100% out of the market. Some people are, and I'm not going to tell you not to. But all I did was take 50% into USDC and USDT, getting ready for a dip in the markets so I can buy the dip later. And that's very reasonable to me, but you try to tell people that and they yell at you and say, hey, you're so crazy for being bearish because most people are 100% in the markets, which is nuts. We're at resistance on multiple different coins. We're at all-time high resistance on a lot of different coins. And if we're not at all-time high resistance, we're at local resistance. Or we just broke out into a new local high. And when you do that, a lot of times the market has to pull back to come back to reality. So yeah, I'm not bullish on Ethereum. I'm not bullish on Bitcoin Cash in the short term, but I am bullish after the correction, after a nice healthy correction. So if we look at Pepe here, I took profits on my short down here, and really I've been making a ton of money. I shorted the top up here, took profit, then I started shorting again right here, took profit. Now I'm waiting for a bounce back up to local resistance on Pepe so I can short it again. If we go over to Twitter and take a look at the most recent chart that I made about Pepe, you guys will get a better idea of what I'm looking at here with Pepe. You can see it's following the Bitcoin fractal perfectly. And if it does exactly what Bitcoin did, which I'm suspecting it will, it's going to go up between 0.000014 and 0.0013 per Pepe before it goes lower. So I'm watching that bounce. I've been planning. That's why I took profit down here so that I can re-short the market when we get closer to resistance again up here. There's a lot of resistance here, and I'm totally going to short it. I'm totally going to short the market up here. Unless I see some invalidation of the structure in the markets, I'm going to short the market right here in preparation for a crash, because that's exactly what Bitcoin did. It failed support after complacency, and then it bounced all the way back up almost to that exact support level that it was holding at. In fact, it actually went to it and went into it a little bit here. You can see. And that's exactly what I've been planning to happen on Pepe, why I took profit down here, and why I'm getting ready to take another short position around here on Pepe. And I'm using Apex Exchange to do this because it's really, really easy to set up. You can have a stop loss, a target, and everything so that you don't lose money. Once you're in profit, you can set a break-even stop loss. If you're wrong, you don't lose anything. If you're right, you make a bunch of money, right? Just play the market for what it is. Don't marry these coins and don't marry the direction that they have to go. Play the market for what the charts are showing you, and you're going to be a good trader and investor. So yeah, that's my plan on Pepe. I expect it to bounce up here, find resistance, and then I'm going to short it. Unless there's something that changes, I'm going to short Pepe up here. Now, there's a lot of coins that I see topping out. I see bearish structure on a lot of different coins. Not is a great example of this. So you can see here that we have 5 waves up here on Not, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 5. This follows what I was talking about crypto markets doing the same thing that commodity markets do, where they have big third waves, 3 waves, but they also have really, really big 5th waves. Now with Not here, you can see a descending triangle pattern. This descending triangle pattern broke bearish. Now I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it chop around right here and come up to resistance, but I think this thing's going to go lower. You know, it's got to pull back to the Fibonacci level, probably somewhere between the 618 and the 786. And this could happen, you know, faster than people think it will. But don't be shocked if there's a bounce in the markets today on a lot of different coins. Why? Because the market has to bounce before it goes lower on smaller time frames. So with Bitcoin, what I'm kind of watching here is for it to go up towards 70,000, about $70,400. And once we get up to there, that level, then I suspect a pullback. Once we can get to 70,400, then I expect a pullback on Bitcoin because we're watching a bigger correction over the summer. But yeah, in the short term, things are bouncing. But, you know, that's why you take profit on your short at the bottom, baby, so you can short resistance again. You got to play these markets for what they are. And I definitely think Bitcoin will pull back up to resistance here. And then it's going to, I see a big crash coming in Bitcoin and a lot of other coins, and everybody's bullish. So just don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the FOMO, the mania, the thousands of bullish charts that are getting posted on crypto Twitter, all the exchanges that are posting images of big green candles and saying, what coin is going to do this next? This is exactly what happens at local highs. People have been calling me on the phone asking me how to get into crypto. And every time that's happened, it's been a local peak. And no, I'm not using that to base my analysis on that. I base my analysis on the charts. But I'm just telling you that there's other things going on that are clear topping signals along with what I'm seeing in the charts. So that's my view on Bitcoin, my view on Pepe, my view on Ethereum, and my view on Bitcoin Cash. Now, am I bearish forever? No. I'm just bearish over the summer. And then I expect a bullish move to happen in these markets that's going to be huge. It's going to be exactly what you're looking for to have happen right now after we shake everybody out. So that's my views on the markets, and stay profitable. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. I hope you learned something and found it valuable. If you did, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. As always, stay profitable out there.